Falls under fair use as it's a parody. If you don't have a sense of humor, go. Welcome. Is this my reality? Is this your reality?
Please come here.
Okay, calm down a little bit, okay? What's the address where you need us?
It's Sunset and Larrabee. It's at the Viper Room.
Okay, what's the address, sir? Do you know?
What's the address to the fucking club?
Okay, sir? Sir, calm down a little bit, okay?
I'm sorry. It's my brother. Please come here.
How old is he?
He's 23.
Calm down, okay? If you can't calm down, give the phone to somebody else.
No, there's no one else around.
Okay.
I'm fine. No, I think he had Valium or something. I don't know.
Who's with him right now?
My sister, the people.
Okay, can you talk to her from where you are?
I kind of. She's trying to give him mouth to mouth.
Sir, calm down. Tell her not to give him mouth to mouth.
Don't give him mouth to mouth.
You only give him mouth to mouth if he's not breathing. What's he doing? Just seems like he's sleeping right now?
Yeah, it just looks like he's sleeping.
Okay, that's very normal, okay?
Yeah?
That's very normal. Sometimes, in fact, sometimes they do actually go to sleep.
Welcome to Not My Reality. We're taking another look at the dark side of fame, another untimely death, and another official story that just doesn't add up. River Phoenix passed away of a tragic overdose outside of the Viper Room. The question is, was he given a lethal speedball? In the early hours of Halloween, of course it's Halloween, it's always got to be on a ritual night. In 1993, River Phoenix tragically died at the young age of just 23 years old from an overdose. At the time of his death, he was on his way to becoming a huge Hollywood star. He appeared in films such as Stand By Me, Running on Empty, My Own Private Idaho. He even played a young Indiana Jones in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And I gotta be honest, it's a lot better than this Indiana Jones 5 horseshit they put out now, but I digress. If you want more of this content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and if you don't, I might bring Amber Heard into your bedroom. What is the Viper Room? Well, a young Johnny Depp, this is before he got really famous, before he got really rich like he is now, before he married that crazy woman. A young Johnny Depp teamed up with a fellow actor, Sal Genco, to open the Viper Room in 1993. Depp gave his guest a stunning opening night, booking Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers to usher in the new era of ownership. The club has hosted numerous legendary musical artists and also has been used on the big screen in a variety of movie scenes. But just a few weeks after opening the club, the Viper Room was forever changed by a tragic event. On that said Halloween night in 1993, the young actor River Phoenix fatally overdosed. Fans were shocked by Phoenix's death because, well, he had been the epitome of a young, healthy, rising star. Publicly, he was known for being vegan and promoting a healthy lifestyle. But one night of partying at the Viper Room put an end to all that. Depp reportedly closed the club every Halloween after that year to honor the legendary young actor, or to celebrate it. Here's where it gets murky. There are conflicting stories everywhere about that night. Fact and fiction have merged into one. Records of that night, they don't match the stories. River Phoenix died of an acute overdose for about an hour in the club while in the presence of a crowd of people, including his family, his girlfriend, his friends, and whoever gave him the drink. Yes, the drink. On the night of his death, River arrived at the club with Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist John Frusciante, his actor brother Joaquin, who was calling himself Leap at the time, I don't know why, sister Rain, and girlfriend Samantha Mathis. The late William Reichert, who directed and starred with River, gave his account of what the then girlfriend Samantha Mathis had told him back in 1993. Mathis, like Joaquin had said, quote, River did not want to go that night. She offered to take Joaquin, going by Leap back then, and Rain, nice names, for him since Joaquin was still underage. River changed his mind at the last minute and ran to meet them at the elevator. River arrived with Samantha, Joaquin, and Rain. They've got a booth in the back, and he waited to be invited up on stage to play his guitar. He stayed sober because he was planning on getting on stage with Flea. After he found out that there is not enough room on stage for him, he was going to take his guitar back to his table and play. According to Reichert, after reaching the club, Mathis says John Frusciante approached their table, offered River a little plastic blue cup, and said, "Drink this, Riv. It'll make you feel fabulous." So River, trusting his friend, drank it right down and immediately suffered a reaction. They say his neck bulged, his back twitched, and he complained something's wrong. Then he vomited at the table. Reichert goes on to say that Mathis later changed her story. In that drink was a dissolved speedball, a mixture of cocaine and heroin, 8 times the limit. River at once felt unwell. He yelled, "What did you give to me? What the fuck is in it?" To calm himself down, River took some Valium, which didn't seem to do the job. Soon he had vomited on himself and the table. He then slumped into his chair unconscious. People recall then seeing him bumping into tables and being wasted in the club. And when it became increasingly harder for him to breathe, he was taken outside and was soon convulsing on the sidewalk. Apparently it took almost 30 minutes for Joaquin, his brother, to finally call the ambulance, and only at the suggestion of the bouncer, who came back outside to see them all still just sitting there. And apparently Johnny Depp had no telephone in his office. Or isn't it more likely that everyone at the club wanted to immediately distance themselves from what was going on? Had someone told the ambulance driver about the lethal overdose handed to River in a cup, he could have probably received a life-saving shot of Narcan. I mean, it wouldn't have helped with an overdose of cocaine, however. But in any case, he was ushered out of the club and left to deal with it. His sister sat on his chest and legs to, quote, stop his seizures. How long was he inside of the Viper room overdosing before he was taken outside? Was he kicked out, or did they just take him outside willingly? Reports vary on this. Why did Joaquin, Rain, Samantha mention the Valium but not say anything about the poison drink? Why, with so many supposed friends over such an extended period of time, did they do nothing? Who was John Frusciante? Well, in 1994, Peter Bogdanovich also gave an interview stating what Mathis had told him, that after they had arrived, River went outside with John Frusciante. Mathis later went outside to check on him, saw that they were having a heated discussion, and went back inside. When she saw him again, he had a drink in his hand and he fell sick shortly afterward. It seemed with her retelling, her story has changed though. Frusciante had already left the Chili Peppers. He was in LA working on solo project and was holed up in a destroyed place doing drugs like a madman, as seen on the documentary Stuff, done by none other than Johnny Depp and Gibby Haynes in 1993. So they did know each other. Now this guy's tolerance would have been quite high. His account of how the show at the Viper Room that night explains that he was obliterated. He was barely able to play one song before he threw up. Was this because he had taken some of the same stuff he gave to River later? Only he didn't die because he didn't down the entire cup of it, and he had more tolerance at the time. The young actor had lethal levels, 8 times the lethal dose of heroin and cocaine in his system when he died. In addition, ephedrine, Valium, and some weed were also present in his body. This is where it gets a little weird for me. Now, at the memorial for River, people were asking, where's Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp, he's not coming. He says he's sorry. He went over to tell John Frusciante that he isn't going to be arrested and not to worry. And he can come out now. He's been there 3 days. He says he hasn't eaten anything, but Johnny Depp is taking care of it. Someone looked up and remembered saying, arrested? Who's arrested? And one of them said, nobody. John Frusciante gave River the stuff that killed him, and he's afraid he's going to be arrested. But he's not. He gave River what? Something that killed him? And the other girl said, no, he didn't kill him. River asked for it. They're friends. It's okay. John Frusciante won't go to jail. He's real upset, and he hasn't come out for 3 days. So Johnny Depp went to talk to him and tell him it's okay. Wait a minute. Does that sound as fucked up to you as it does to me? Just asking. Leave a comment down below. And since when does Johnny Depp have this fucking power to just say it's okay? Just asking. If this is true, if Frusciante was holed up in a Pepper's mansion after the night in question, threatening to kill himself because he thought the police were looking for the person who supplied the drugs to River, is that person would be responsible for at least second-degree murder. Clearly, he was the one who gave River the poison drink. That fear subsided, though, when River's mother publicly announced that they would seek no prosecution for the person who had given him the drugs. No offense, but look into River's mother. She's a very strange woman. Strangely, the family and the Peppers, get this, also shared the same lawyer at the time. After the death of River, John became more depressed. He stopped playing guitar, he stopped painting, became a full-time drug addict. He went broke after spending all his money on drugs, and he was expelled from his house because he wasn't paying rent for it anymore. Let's take a look at the official story. River took an 8 times lethal overdose. It was spiked in a drink given to him by John Frusciante, who promptly fell further into the depths of depression and drug use, and almost suffered the same fate. Is that it? Is that the whole story? Nothing to see here, move along, people? Or is there more to it? I mean, perhaps. Perhaps Frusciante was just a drug messenger, and whoever gave River the poison drink knew he would more likely take it from his friend Frusciante. It seems unlikely that he knew the toxic levels of the drink. Hey, who mixed it? Who was in the original possession of this concoction? Where did it originate? Again, we don't know. Those who were there have never come forward, and those who have spoken about it publicly seem to change their story all the time. Also, if you read the autopsy report, he didn't overdose via snorting the drugs as maintained in the popular mainstream media rumor. The only way for him to have taken a lethal speedball and remain active, remember he was active for up to an hour until his death, would be if he were to drink it. Drinking a drug allows for a long and slow absorption of the drug into the bloodstream. It can take up to 30 minutes for a drug to hit the body's bloodstream as it makes its way through the intestinal tract. And also much more lethal because he would have felt it build and become stronger. He believed that he could handle it, and by the time that he was dying, it would have been too late. Most of it was already being absorbed into his bloodstream. Witnesses claim they saw him either snort or drink something, but much of it is speculative when compared to the facts in the autopsy report. He did not snort it. Quote, no material found in his nasal passages or upper airway. Plus, there are no needle tracks, so he didn't shoot it either. The damage showed only fluid in his heart and his lungs, synonymous with opiate OD. He had to have swallowed it. Now, all we hear from the media, and I gotta be honest, there's a bunch of lowlifes out there just making shit up. If River were a severe addict, if he was a severe addict, it would have shown in his tissues, in his organs, and even his teeth. Instead, the autopsy showed a healthy man who succumbed to a massive overdose. Now, I'm not saying this guy didn't like to party. He sure did. But I don't think he was the addict everybody's picking him out to be. My question is, who gave him that drink? Well, we know who gave him the drink, but who mixed it? What the fuck was that? So we know who gave River Phoenix this speedball to kill them that night, but who gave it to that person and why? It's not like there were several ODs on this that night. It was just River, just like it was made for him. But by whom? Now this is going to be pure speculation on my part, wink wink, but whom had the opportunity and whom had the motive? Well, let's look at opportunity. It would have been pretty easy for the owner of said club to arrange a special drink for a certain customer. Pretty sure it's been done before. Just saying. Now a motive. Let's call the guy JD. Just for shits and giggles. Now, JD wasn't the megastar he became. And River was blowing by guys like him, I'm telling you, getting all the good roles, getting all the publicity. And River was about to be in a movie with JD's ex, WR. And I'm pretty sure JD didn't like the idea of River knocking boots with his ex. Plus, the fact Hollywood is just into some weird shit. We all know it. Just YouTube won't let us say it. Why would JD make it okay for Frusciante? And how? And then disappear to France? Well, people don't get punished for stuff like this? Like JD could just say, don't worry about it. The police, the family, everybody walks away. What I want to know is who gave Frusciante the cup, period. That's who killed River Phoenix. Look, it's almost as if this was a sacrifice. Just saying. Leave a comment down below. Now let's get the fuck out of here.